Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and this is the very reason why we are starting the Chaos to Calm series. Practically everywhere in my house feels like this. It's not necessarily dirty, but it is messy. So while I'm off for the summer, I've made myself a little flowchart, with the idea being that I start at the projects at the top and then I've got some longer term projects. I do have some like long lists of sort of breaking each space down, but the idea being that I'd start at the top and follow the pathway down and start across the top three, so the airing cupboard, the bathroom and the bedroom. I don't know that it will necessarily always be in that order, but that was kind of my plan anyway. So we're starting with the airing cupboard, which is our cupboard at the top of the stairs. This is what it looked like when we moved in. So every door and every bit of woodwork in our house was this really, really dark brown. And our hallway was actually purple and cream. And I hated it. I hated every part of it. So we are actually doing the hallway at the same time, but I'm only sharing this cupboard in this particular video. So we had this over the door rack for our hoodies, and there was a wooden shelf across the middle of the cupboard with this shoe rack on it. So we just kind of shoved our shoes on there. That box at the top is what I use to feed my snakes in. And then I've got these two storage containers with all different bits and pieces. But as you can see, it just became a dumping ground. So I just thought, I can't deal with this anymore, but how do I want this cupboard to look? So I sort of drew myself like a little sketch. My idea being that I wanted shelves down the back. I wanted it to rail across the middle for our coats, because we don't actually have anywhere really for our coats. And then some hooks on the side for our hoodies. So the first thing I had to do obviously was start to clear this space. So just showing you another before and showing you just how dirty the walls felt. It was like a really horrible off cream colour in here. I did video sort of some of this, but I've lost a lot of the footage, so I'm afraid we are going to have to just look at some photos, some of the photos that I sent to some friends while I was doing the project. So this was the cupboard empty. And as you can see, the woodwork inside was brown and it just had this sort of stained chipboard flooring. We do have the pipework for the bathroom in here, but I started by painting everywhere a nice crisp pale grey. I then put up this twin lock system. I bought this in B&Q, and then the shelves that you can see are actually kitchen shelves from B&Q as well, but they're just the perfect width for our cupboard. I laid down this vinyl flooring. I bought this on Amazon. And it was just really easy to just stick to the chipboard. And as you can see, I painted the skirting board at the bottom white as well. So it just looks really, really fresh in the cupboard now. And now I've put the rail up across the middle where the wooden shelf used to be. I've also bought two lots of 4 hooks on the left and the right. For our hoodies, I bought them on Amazon as well. So this is us. We just started to put bits back. There is a massive bag of stuff in the loft from the cupboard itself, but this is what it looks like now. So the hallway will be an upcoming video, but it's now a pale grey. All of the doors and the woodwork is now white, and this is now our bougie cupboard of dreams, as I keep calling it. With the shelves at the top, I do have a sensor light. It hasn't been going off properly, which is a little bit annoying, but I do have the sensor light, so if I stand in the cupboard to get some shoes, it does come on. Those are those hooks for the hoodies, and I've bought some grey velour hangers. In the bottom of the cupboard, I've got this grey basket that I bought in B&M with just a few cleaning supplies for the upstairs, because I just found I was putting it off because I was being lazy basically, because all the cleaning products were downstairs. So I just thought, I've got this basket now, and I've got a space for our laundry basket that folds down. The only issue with this is that there's lots of shoes in there, so I decided to just pop an air freshener in the cupboard just so it smells a little bit nicer in there, because the last thing you want is to open a cupboard and it will smell of shoes. So I've just popped that on the radiator. The radiator's off, we don't use it, and it was put in when we had the tank taken out in case we wanted to use this as an actual airing cupboard, but there just isn't any ventilation. So I'm just showing you the before again. So with that kind of whitish cream wall, purple walls and dark brown woodwork. And then we're going to just take another peek inside, just because I'm really happy with the before and after, so I wanted to see it again. So here's the dark dingy cupboard that we had before. As I say, in the after pictures, not all of our shoes have made their way back to the cupboard, and I do have a plan for the top shelf, which will be in an upcoming video, because that's when I sort out these storage units that are currently living in our back bedroom at the moment, because they had to go somewhere. and I haven't yet sorted them out. So as much as I feel like the cupboard is finished, it's not quite, but this is our finalised finished cupboard, and it just looks so much better. I even painted the ceiling in there, and it makes me feel happy. I know people don't often see the cupboard, but I see it daily because I get my trainers or my shoes out, so I'm really happy with that. And the last thing that we get to do is now to colour off that we have completed a space, which feels really, really good. Now, am I a little bit delusional that I'm going to get all of these spaces done in the summer holidays? You betcha. But there's nothing like a good old-fashioned challenge. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this little transformation of the cupboard, and I hope you'll join me in my next video. Love you lots. Bye.